Good afternoon. Welcome to the Babbling Bunny. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of spending money at the grocery store, especially when food is everywhere around us. You just have to know where to look. Here are some foods that you can probably find in your own backyard, or in an area near you. But first, a quick disclaimer. Please never eat a plant unless you can identify that plant with 100% certainty, and make sure that it doesn't have any interactions with medications you're taking. Please know that this video is not meant to be a comprehensive guide either. It's only meant to show you a few tips and tricks and is mainly for entertainment purposes. Also, please make sure you are harvesting from an area that has not had pesticide treatment or is heavily trafficked, and be sure to check your local laws. Number 1. Dandelion. Dandelions grow so well that most people consider them weeds, but they're actually a free source of food. Dandelions are high in vitamins A, C, and K, along with a plethora of other vitamins and minerals. The flower heads have a very sweet taste and make a nice tea or syrup. The greens, in my opinion, can be bitter, so I prefer to use them in a mixture for a salad or as a sauté. Just be sure to compost or discard the stems, as these have a large amount of latex in them that can give you a tummy ache. The roots also are edible, but since I don't have any experience eating dandelion roots, I really don't want to give you guys any kind of information about that. Number 2. Chicory. Chicory root is a staple in our kitchen because of its coffee-like flavor without the caffeinated buzz. Roast and grind up the roots to create a coffee substitute if you need to drink decaf, or if you just want to add coffee flavor to a baked good. And if you're not comfortable with your foraging skills, this is also one of the natural items that you can find in the grocery store, especially areas that have Whole Foods or grocery stores that specialize in local foods. Number 3. Blue spruce. In the spring, this spruce tree and almost all coniferous trees produce edible tips that you can munch right off the tree or enjoy in a salad. They are high in vitamin C and have an acquired taste. I suggest trying these 3 times on separate occasions before you make up your mind. If you've missed the spruce tip season, don't worry. Blue spruce needles can be enjoyed in teas, stews, or soups year-round. However, please do not consume this if you are pregnant or think you might be pregnant, as it might cause a miscarriage. Number 4. Mulberries. Mulberries were once a favorite seasonal food for me as a kid, and for good reason. Even if you try to cut down a mulberry tree, you'll often find that it springs back with renewed vigor. These plants give fantastic berries that do well in pies, jams, or just eaten as is. However, what you might not know is that the leaves of the mulberry tree can be used as a tea or broth. I personally liken the flavor to spinach, so I recommend using the leaves to flavor a soup or a sauce that you're making. Number 5. Black walnuts. Black walnut trees seem to be in almost every neighborhood. Just look for the giant green balls that you trip on every fall. However, very few people ever eat them, and very few people in my experience even know what these are. Most people are surprised when you tell them that these are walnuts. So if you don't have one in your yard, just ask your neighbor if you can collect them and they'll probably thank you. Wear gloves while removing the hulls as they stain whatever they touch, and do not put them in your compost. Instead, just use your hull waste as like a natural herbicide. Sprinkle them wherever you don't want other plants to grow. The juglone in the hulls will keep the other plants from sprouting in the area. Once hulled, allow the walnuts to dry for about 2 weeks before you crack them open and enjoy. They'll have a much stronger taste than the English walnuts you're used to, but I do find they go well with goat cheese on crackers. Number 6. Chanterelles. Chanterelles are one of the easiest mushrooms to identify by their false gills. Their undersides will be firmly attached to the cap. It'll kind of look like their gills have been melted into the mushroom itself. However, since mushrooms are very region-specific and there are some toxic mushrooms out there, please make sure to identify any mushroom properly before you cook and consume it. Number 7. Wild garlic. Wild garlic sprouts every spring in our area, and it's very common in residential areas. Since they can become overbearing in your garden, you can actually control their spread by cutting the tops off each year, which tastes like green onions and can be eaten raw or cooked, just like any green onion. Number 8. Crab apples. While it is much smaller and much more tart than its counterpart, crab apples are in fact edible. The only toxic parts of the crab apple are the stem and seeds, just like a normal apple. So feel free to munch on these while you walk, or make them into a jam or cider. Number 9. Wood sorrel. This plant is edible raw or cooked in small quantities, but is toxic in large amounts. It has a strong citrus flavor that I liken to apple cider, so in my opinion, this plant's best used as either a salad garnish, in a dressing, or in a drink from occasion to occasion. And number 10. Oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms grow in decaying wood that you might find in your neighborhood and grow in clusters. However, before picking and eating any oyster mushroom, make sure you have a true oyster mushroom, as there are some toxic lookalikes that can give you a bad stomachache. Oyster mushrooms are notoriously good in stir fries and can be used as a meat substitute. I prefer them as taco fillers myself. How would you eat them? I hope you found this video entertaining and informational. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.